The night he shouldn't speak of. At 23, Kofi had learned to carry silence like a second skin. There were things in his life he never spoke about, not to his friends, not to strangers, not even to himself, when the night grew too long and the walls too quiet. But that one night, stayed with him. It began like many others. The wind whispering through the cracked windows of their old family home, the kind of place that held memories in its walls. His mother had always loved that house. She said it breathed, she said it listened. Kofi never believed that. Until that night. He had returned home late. The city had drained him. Noise, people, expectations. At 23, he was supposed to be becoming something, but instead he felt like he was unraveling. His mother was already asleep when he got in, or so he thought. The hallway was dim. A single bulb flickered like it was unsure whether to stay alive or give up. He paused outside her door. Something about the silence inside felt different. He shouldn't have entered, but he did. The room was warm, warmer than the rest of the house. The curtains moved gently, though the windows were shut. And there she was, lying on the bed, still, calm, almost glowing in the dim light. Kofi, her voice came, soft, as though she had been expecting him. He froze. "You're back," she said. There was something in her tone, something deeper than unusual. Not just a greeting, but a pull. "I couldn't sleep," he replied, his voice quieter than he intended. "Come here," 2 simple words. But they carried weight. He hesitated. At 23, he knew boundaries. He knew right from wrong. And yet, something about the moment blurred everything. The air felt heavier. The room felt smaller. Still, he stepped forward. Each step felt like crossing a line he didn't fully understand. He sat at the edge of the bed. She shifted slightly, making space beside her. "Lie down," she said. His heart pounded. He shouldn't, but he did. Slowly, carefully, he lay beside her, close enough to feel her warmth, close enough to hear her breathing. Time seemed to stretch. The silence between them wasn't empty. It was full, heavy, almost dangerous. "Do you remember," she whispered, "when you were little?" He swallowed. "Yes. You used to come to me when you were scared." He didn't respond. "I would hold you until you fell asleep." Her words wrapped around him like a memory he couldn't escape. The air shifted again. He became aware of everything, the softness of the bed, the rhythm of her breathing, and the way the night seemed to lean in closer. It felt wrong, and yet familiar. He turned slightly, unsure of what he was feeling. His thoughts tangled, his chest tightened. "Why do you look so troubled?" she asked gently. I don't know if I should be here." She smiled. Not in a way that was unsettling, but in a way that felt knowing. "You're tired, Kofi," she said. "That's all." He wanted to believe her, but something inside him persisted. "I'm not a child anymore," he said. "No," she replied softly. "You're not." Silence again. Longer this time. The kind of silence that forces you to confront your own thoughts. He stared at the ceiling, feeling the weight of the moment pressed down on him. His mind wandered to places he didn't want to go. Confusion, guilt, something unnamed. She didn't move. Rest, she said. Just one word. But this time, it didn't feel like a command. It felt like permission. Slowly, his body relaxed. The tension in his shoulders eased. His breathing steadied. The storm in his mind began to quiet. And then, without realizing it, he drifted. Morning came softly. The kind of morning that doesn't rush you awake, but gently push you back into the world. Kofi opened his eyes. Sunlight filtered through the curtains. The room looked ordinary again. Still, quiet. He blinked, and then he realized. He was curled slightly on the bed, a blanket pulled over him. And beside him, his mother, fully asleep, peaceful. Nothing strange, nothing wrong. Just normal. He sat up slowly, his heart steady now. The weight he had felt the night before was gone, replaced by something simpler. Understanding. He looked at her, really looked at this time. Not as something mysterious, not as something confusing, but as his mother. The woman who had raised him, the woman who had once held him through every nightmare. And suddenly, it was all making sense. There had been no line crossed, no hidden meaning, no darkness in that moment. Just a tired young man who had gone back to the only place that ever felt safe. He let out a quiet breath. A small, almost embarrassed smile forming on his lips. I guess, he murmured to himself. Some things don't change. He stood, careful not to wake her, and walked toward the door. The house felt lighter now, less like it was watching, more like it was simply home. And as he stepped out into the hallway, he realized something he had not understood before. That night wasn't something to hide. It wasn't something shameful. It was something simple. He hadn't done anything wrong. He had just laid beside his mother, like he used to, when the world felt too heavy to carry alone.